Global News has learned that Canadian Forces members were on the U.S. base that was targeted by Iranian forces. That's according to a senior Canadian military source. The number of Canadians on the base is unknown, and there are no reports at this point that any Canadians were hurt in the attack. Canadians, it should be noted, have been on that U.S. base for years now. Now, as of 9 p.m. Eastern tonight, Defence Minister Harjit Sajjan was meeting with Canada's top generals at the Department of National Defence here in Ottawa. A spokesman for Sajjan said he and senior military leaders are closely monitoring the situation. Now, earlier in the day, the Chief of Defence Staff, Jonathan Vance, issued an open letter that he sent to the families of Canadian Forces members stationed in Iraq, saying, among other things, that some of those members would be moved out of Iraq to nearby Kuwait. And indeed, dozens have been flown out of Kuwait on C-17 transport aircraft in the last few days. And those Canadian C-17 flights were carrying both Canadian, American, and Allied troops. Now, of some note, Canadian Special Forces were not being pulled out. They continue their mission in Iraq. Now, as the week started, Canada had roughly a few hundred soldiers in Iraq, most of whom were on bases in the north of the country, involved in training Iraqi military as part of a NATO mission. NATO earlier this week suspended those training activities, but NATO forces, including Canadian forces, remain in Iraq tonight. They, like the rest of the world, are watching to see what happens next.